got a day off today, and I was going to do a different video. I had something planned, but then I realised what the date is, and it's the 21st of September today. Won't be by the time I get this up. But I realised that something about 10 years ago happened on this date that I found, well, it made an impression, and I remember it. And it involves a couple of musical dudes, actually. One from England, one from Canada. I have a foot firmly planted in both of those places. I like their moral compass, and both of them are somewhat political, one more overtly than the other, I suppose. And first chap actually made it onto Nixon's enemies list, I believe. But I think Nixon was flattering himself to think he deserved such great enemies. The FBI went after him, tried to get him deported from the US. But all those people, Nixon, he's a crook, and despite his protestations. And all those FBI pencil pushers and paper pushers are just functionaries and nobodies, and really, who even knows who they were? But I guess everyone still knows who John Lennon was, or maybe I'm dating myself. See, I remember when he died, and I've realized that right now I'm actually older than John Lennon was when he died. And I guess it's 30-some years ago now. I always forget. It's hard to imagine it's so long ago. But anyway, I'm making an assumption that people still remember who he is. People still remember his music anyway, even if they don't know it was his. And the reason I bring it up is because 10 years ago, about 10 days after 9/11, there was a list that went around Clear Channel radio stations for songs that they shouldn't play. Now, some say it was an official list, and Snopes says no, it wasn't an official list, but then somewhat admits that some of the names were officially put on there by head office, but then they just sort of unofficially collected other song names to put on the list. But it was circulated within Clear Channel. And Clear Channel, if you know much about Clear Channel, they have a fairly strong web of political connections, and they have their own political bent. Among the songs that were banned or put on the "we suggest you don't play" list was something that goes, let's see, a bit like this. You'll see how closely it goes like this. And if you didn't recognize it from my brilliant rendition, that's John Lennon's Imagine. So that's the first musical dude. Imagine by John Lennon gets on this no-play list. About 10 days later, though, that's when a bunch of artists were all brought together to do a musical tribute. And the other dude, the Canadian dude, who's also got a bit of a political bent, but he's less loud because he's Canadian, I suppose, about his politics. You see, the last couple of times I saw this guy, he looks like the crazy uncle, right? Your crazy uncle, who, you know, he's fine with the family, everyone knows him, we all kind of like him and get. But you see, then he shows up uninvited to a party you're having, and all the guests are looking around, going, "Oh, who's this hobo? What did our host just let in the house? Nasty, nasty, unkempt." But then he pulls up a stool in the kitchen and he sits down and he plays his guitar, and then suddenly everyone's listening and it's cool. But that guy is Neil Young, and he played a song for this benefit, and the thing is, he's got this huge catalogue of his own music, but he didn't play his own music. He just went on and he played that one song. The song of John Lennon's that Clear Channel had said wasn't a good song to play after 9/11. And it just really touched me. It was a strong statement and a huge gesture.
Imagine there's no heaven. It's easy if you try. No hell below us. Above us, only sky. Imagine all the people living for today. Imagine there's no countries. It isn't hard to do. Nothing to kill or die for. No religion too. Imagine all the people living life in peace. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you'll join us, and the world will be as one. Imagine no possessions. I wonder if I can. No need for greed or hunger. Brotherhood of man. Imagine all the people share